car said, nah, it's dry enough, just go on the slick tires. The manual. It's about emotion, it's about the feeling, about this. Ooh. Okay, hi guys, here we have, quite a legendary car again. The Porsche 911 997 version 1. This one is from 2007, GT3 RS. Well, the first Porsche that was named the GT3 was the 996. And it was in 1999 and it was named after the FIA racing class GT3. But of course some Porsche customers wanted even more because the GT3 was already quite a track focused road car. Porsche said, okay, we'll do that. They came up with the GT3 RS. And RS is a name that came originally from the Porsche 911 from 1973. It was the Porsche RS, and RS stands for, in German, Rennsport. That means race sport. So it's even racier, it's even sportier, a little bit lighter, more downforce, just a little bit quicker than the normal standard GT3. So this is the first version, 997 GT3 RS, and this car was only available with a proper manual gearbox. Just like I keep saying it, just like every driver's car should have. I know there are a lot of people saying, yeah, but the PDK is faster, and that's all true. But I'll come back to that later when we will drive. I'll share my thoughts about the manual and the PDK. Now the great part about this car is that it has a very cool owner. Because the owner does use this car, what the car is basically made for. Check this out. Proper slick tires. These ones are brand new, ready to go on a track somewhere in Europe soon again, probably. Of course, the car has a roll cage in the back, not a full roll cage, but there was an option to build a full roll cage. We just saw the slicks over there. That's quite cool. But there's another set of slicks on the car. The funny thing is, it's a bit rainy outside, and the owner just said, you know what? Leave the slicks on, you'll manage, have fun. I hope we will find some dry lines here and there. But yeah, in the worst case, we can switch to the normal road tires. Now, if we look at the Porsche 997 GT3, if we look at the engine, nothing is different in this car. It's the same engine, a flat 6, 3.6 liter engine. Later on, the later versions had bigger engines. This engine produces 415 horsepower. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.2 seconds. And it weighs, the whole car weighs 1,395 kilograms. It's about 20 kilos lighter than the original GT3. Also because of this. I don't know if you can see it. This is plexiglass. Now, of course, we have the back spoiler, back wing, I should say. Spoiler is more of a tuner's term. This is a wing, proper wing, because it creates quite some downforce. It's all carbon fiber. Really nice. I love carbon fiber. Everything should be carbon fiber in my life. There's also downforce on the front. This front lip makes sure you have some more downforce on the front. So it just creates some more grip on the front end, especially in high-speed corners. Now, I do have to say I favor cars which have the engine in the middle. So between the front and rear axle. For me, that's the best, just behind the seats. I think that's in the basic, that's the best balanced car. But there's quite a good reason why Porsche has the engine in the back. So quite some weight in the back. There's a very cool video that explains way more, also way better than I can do. I will put a link in the description below, so after this video you should check it out. There's a guy in America who makes really cool YouTube videos. He explains the pros and cons of the engine in the back. Now here we have the full carbon fiber bucket seats. You don't see the carbon fiber, of course, with this material on it, but if you look here, there you can see it. Really nice. Lightweight, of course. 5-point seat belt. Very important, especially if you drive on track. And the funny thing is, as you can see over here in the gauge cluster, Porsche didn't even take some time or the effort to put RS behind GT3. I guess everybody can guess already, but this is not a standard option of Porsche. No, this is a lap timer. So the owner, like I said, drives on track sometimes with his car, and he drives really fast, and he always wants to know if he improves and how much. And of course the fire extinguisher. And of course, what do we have here? Yes, again, like in my previous video, the beloved manual. So the GT3 RS was always more expensive in every generation. In the 996, 997, 991 was always more expensive than the normal GT3, but you get less, but it's more expensive. Well, in this case, like the saying goes, less is more, because this car is all about driving, nothing more. So no air conditioning, the seats are lighter, well, the whole car is a little bit lighter. It's about 20% more expensive than the regular GT3, but is it also 20% better than the GT3? I want to find that out today. Welcome to Pure Drive.
So this car has a 5-point seat belt, and there's a reason for that. This is a very fast car, so not only for safety, but you also feel more connected to the car if you're buckled up very well, very tight. So if you do drive a car with a 5-point seat belt or 4-point seat belt, and you're about to go a bit fast, then I would always recommend, once again, not only for safety but for the feeling of the car, I would always recommend to wear it and tight. So this car has a racing clutch. That's also really cool. For the ones that are not familiar with the racing clutch, a normal clutch, if you let the clutch come up more and more, the car starts rolling slowly more and more. Now with a racing clutch, it's a bit different. It's like more on and off. So you're letting the clutch come up, nothing happens, and at one point, somewhere, all of a sudden, it grips, let's say, the clutch, and then you go. So you have to be quite careful with letting the clutch come up and hit the throttle a little bit. So I'm letting the clutch come up, nothing. There it goes. And you're off. So once you drive the car fast, then you realize that a racing clutch is really good. There was not even full RPM yet. You can heel and toe so nice with this car. So let's rev it. 8200 RPM. The sound is not the loudest, but you know you're in a special car if you hear that. Such a good sound. Okay, now the systems are on this car. There's a sport button, there's a damper button, and there's TC off. I guess that's traction control, right? Let's just press that button, TC off. You know what? Let's press all the buttons. Sport. To be honest, I don't know what sport actually does, if it gives you more power or not. And the dampers, do it a bit stiffer. I think ooh! Now I know what the sport button does. I think it gives you more power. Or the throttle response is better. I've no idea yet, but there's quite some difference. Now the gears are quite long. You have to wait quite some time before you get to the maximum RPM. sure, this is still an analog car. It's really my type of car. This car has obviously slick tires, so it's not really fair to talk about the grip level, right? But still, it's we all know Porsches are a little bit understeered because of the weight. The engine is in the back, so the front is quite light, so it has understeer character. But if you know how to drive these cars, so what I mean is, for example, we have a corner over here. So what I do is trail braking. So you keep braking until here, the apex. And from the apex you start hitting the throttle. So what you can do with a Porsche, very nice, is you can bring the front down so you create more grip by keep braking at the moment you turn in the corner. And you call it trail braking. So the weight that you're missing in the front of, well, every Porsche, you can just give it some weight on the front by trail braking. And if you do that, the car turns in so beautifully, very sharp, very good. The only thing you have to pay attention to is once you want to come out of the corner, don't hit the throttle too fast, too soon. Because what you do, if you hit the throttle, the front goes up, the back of the car goes down, so you still create some understeer. I thought it would be way less comfortable on the public roads than it actually is. Somehow it's not very bumpy or something like that. I don't know why that is. Maybe because of the tires, or well, no, the tires are stiff as well. So I'm quite surprised by this. I can see myself going on vacation with this car, no problem. Oh. And doing this on vacation. That's great. It also feels analog. It doesn't feel digital like a 991. I would even prefer this above the latest GT3 RS, the 991, just because of the only reason, the manual. Now I know a lot of people will tell me, yeah, but the PDK is faster, things like that. I know the PDK is faster, true story. But it's about emotion, it's about the feeling, about this. Pressing a button is not the same as this. And just heel and toe, pressing the clutch, moving with your whole arm, moving the gear lever. Love it. Now it's not that I dislike or disrespect PDKs or automatic gearboxes or people who have those kind of cars. And you are faster in your 911 PDK. It's faster, I know, but it's all about the emotion, about this. You're doing something mechanically and not something electronically. For me, that's a huge difference, because the feeling that I have in a PDK car, which is once again very fast, very smooth, it's just as I would sit behind a PlayStation. The only thing you do to shift is you press a button. I think in I don't know how many years, but within some years, I'm afraid even the steering wheel is going to disappear. You know, and then people will say, yeah, but it's faster, the computers do everything for you. It gives me so much joy if I control the car. And what are the most fun things in life? Think about it. Things where something could go wrong, right? Why do people bungee jump? There's a certain amount of danger in that. Now, of Of course, this is not as dangerous. Manual gearbox is not as dangerous as bungee jumping. But what I'm trying to say is, you could screw up here. You could do something wrong. You could make a mistake over here. If you're driving fast and you're in 5th gear and you want to shift back from 5 to 4, and by accident you shift back to 2nd gear, you screw up. Now that should be in the back of your mind all the time you drive a car fast. So there's a certain amount of danger, let's say, that something could go wrong. And that's why manual cars are just more fun for me. That's it. And I think it's a shame, I really do, that manual cars are endangered species, let's say. There are less and less of them. And Ferrari doesn't make them anymore. I bet Porsche will stop making them within 1 or 2 models. I'm afraid, I hope not, but I think so. So now today it's a bit, this morning it was raining and now it's dry, but still it's not great weather. But the surface is still a bit damp. It's wet here and there. And the owner of this car, he's really cool. The owner of this car said, nah, it's dry enough. Just go on the slick tires. It's okay. Fine. Let's turn around here. It's very easy to turn around with this car. No problem. So is this RS better than the regular GT3? Yes, it's better. But is it 20% better? No, it's not. It is a little bit better, especially when you push it, when you drive on track. I've driven the regular GT3, so I can tell you. But it's not 20% better. Is it 20% more special? Yes, even more than 20%. It is more special just because it's just a little bit better than the GT3. So if you saved money just to buy such a car, a cool, fast supercar, then I don't think it's worth it to spend so much more extra just to have a little bit extra car. But if you have loads of money and money is no issue, don't even think about the GT3. Directly go for the GT3 RS, because that little bit extra makes you smile a lot more extra. Porsches are really good. The quality is very good. They drive very well. But I would never buy a Porsche just because every time you get out, well, at least I don't have the feeling I drove something special, something really emotional, even though they're very good. But I would for sure buy a special Porsche, like a GT3 or this GT3 RS. You just do feel they have a soul, where I don't feel that in a regular Carrera or a Carrera S, even not a Turbo S. It just doesn't do it for me. I understand it, I get it, why people buy those cars, because they are incredibly fast, they are very good. But I just need emotion in a car, and this car, it has emotion. It's so good, it's so cool. I need to save up some money and buy such a car. I'm in love. I'm so in love. Oh. Wow. It's time to bring this car back to the owner. I've been away for about I don't know, an hour, something like that. And I'm sure he misses this car already. He even told me when he walks the dogs and he comes back, he passes his garage, he just opens the door just to look at it. He just takes a chair, sits down, and looks at this car. Now that's love. That's car love. That's emotion. Wonderful. I think I'm going to sit next to him next time and just